What's going on, everybody? This is Jose Betancourt, and as always, thank you for viewing my videos. So what you're watching right now is Madden 16 for the PlayStation 4. Now, annually, we get a new Madden. There's no secret to that. Often people complain about the fact that there aren't many changes with these annual releases. Now, the sport of football is not going to change. That is one thing to consider. And so you can only do so much when it comes to football games or any sport game, and for that matter. But what EA has been doing, which I appreciate a lot, they've been adding little nuances, adding little animations, changing certain things. For example, passing. I'll give you a perfect example. When you do a lob pass, which is tapping down on the pass button, that is that is allocated to a specific receiver. So let's say the X button. So you do a lob pass by tapping down on the X button. So this year, what Madden did, because it kind of mimics what is currently happening on the NFL or in the NFL, is that when you do a lob pass, you can actually hit the Y button, which is either on the Xbox One controller, which is Y, or on the PlayStation 4 controller, it's the triangle button. So you hit that button, and your receiver and defender, they're going to make an aggressive move for the ball. So if you have a tall receiver, you're going to, what you would see in the NFL, you're going to have, let's say, a fade pattern in the end zone, and your tall receiver is going to attempt to out-muscle and out-jump the defender. In this case, you're going to see the defender trying to either break up the pass by doing an aggressive move as well, or attempt to separate the ball from the receiver's hands with either by separating the arms or doing something like that. So you see that in Madden 16, and that adds a sense of interaction between computer and yourself, between the computer and yourself, and it's just, in my opinion, all that any sports title can do is just add more sense of interactivity that makes it believable. For example, when I first played NFL 2K on the Dreamcast, the fact that I saw my guard pulling on a trap play, that was like total geekdom, because I'm a huge football fan and I'm a huge video gamer. So when I saw the two combined in NFL 2K, I was in awe, because while I always played football games, even back in the 70s, and I've seen them progress to what we have here in Madden 16, and I can appreciate it, and it's unbelievable. But it wasn't until NFL 2K on the Dreamcast, which was a launch title for the Dreamcast, until then, I didn't see much offensive line play that impressed me. So seeing something so small as a weak side guard pulling on a trap play, that really impressed me, and I was in heaven. So since then, we've been seeing more realistic offense and defensive line play. In Madden 16, they simplified the pass rush and how a defensive player would either shed a block or create a power move or finesse move in the pass rush game. So you combine all those elements, and actually the offensive line does a great job. Even since last year in Madden 15, they've done a really impressive job of, let's say, a double team between the center and the guard, and the guard, either weak or strong, will chip on the nose tackle or the defensive tackle, whoever's being double teamed, and then skate his way to the linebacker, to the second portion of the field, and make a play on the linebacker for the sole purpose of creating a hole for the running back. Those things seem natural in Madden 16, and it's improving. This is not I'd say it's very close to NFL 2K5 or yeah, NFL 2K5, I believe it is. I could be butchering it, but that in a lot of people's opinion is one of the more enjoyable football games ever, and it was $20 for the Sega Dreamcast, and it was an amazing game. A big move by Sega to make a $20 football game that was at the time the best football game ever. So, uh, Madden 16 is pretty close. There was a certain magic to NFL 2K5, and Madden is pretty close. It is very close. Visually, they're getting a lot better. They improved the lighting. There are sometimes some instances where you're looking at a player during the replay, and the lighting makes it look ultra realistic. Now, the big question, of course, is if you own Madden 15, do you buy Madden 16? I mean, as I stated, it's an annual. You have an annual release when it comes to the Madden franchise, and that's because every year there are free agents moving around to different NFL teams, new draft picks, so on and so on. So, if you own Madden 15, do you go ahead and buy Madden 16? Well, what I do is right before the season ends, I go ahead and I trade in. For example, I traded in Madden 15. I got $30 for a trade-in, which is pretty darn good for an older title. And I put that towards Madden 16. So that is just how I do it. And then via EA Access, which came out not too long ago, but with EA Access, Madden 15 became free during the winter, right? I'd say a few months after the football season ended. So I was able to play on the Xbox One Madden 15 until Madden 16 came out. So there are some options for you if you do own an Xbox One. But if you don't own an Xbox One, what would you do? Well, it's all up to you. It's all up to you if you wanted to go ahead and create the players yourself and create the draft picks yourself, which is very old school, which is what I used to do back in the days. You can move the free agents around if you want to. You have total control in these Madden games. So that's one way to do it. Is it visually such an improvement from 15 to 16 that you absolutely need to get it? I'd say no. I'd say no. Is it gameplay-wise an improvement from Madden 15 to 16? I'd say yes. The passing, for example, as I stated, you can hit the Y button. It'll do an aggressive move, whether you're on defense or offense. Also, you can hit the L button with the allocated icon for receiver, and it'll do a low pass. You hit the right shoulder button, and you could do a touch pass. So there's different types of passes that you can do that is not available on Madden 15. So those are some things to consider, but is it a significant upgrade? I'd say no. But that being said, if Madden 15 was the only game you purchased, only football game you currently own, you're okay. But if you want to be, if you want to be up to date with all the roster moves, all the draft picks, and you've been waiting for Madden 16, you're definitely not going to be disappointed. If I had to grade Madden 16, which I really don't give too many games grades, but I'd give it a solid B. It's definitely enjoyable. If you own it on the PlayStation 4, remember that you can use PlayStation Share and play against your friends. So all you need is one copy of Madden 16. Turn on PlayStation Share, and both of you can play against each other as if you guys were sitting right next to each other. And, as I stated before, with EA Access, if you have an Xbox One, you have EA Access, you can try out these games a week in advance, or later down the line, if you don't want to spend the money on Madden 16, you want to wait for it to become free after the football season, you have that option as well. But don't forget, Black Friday in November, you have Black Friday. You'll probably get Madden for $30, Madden 16 that is. So if you want to wait, you can, and you probably find a way to get Madden 16 for less than $59.99. But if you're like me, you're a huge football fan, Madden 16 is definitely the game, the football game to own. Unfortunately, it's the only football franchise available to any football fan, but I will say that this probably ranks as the top Madden game in the franchise. Now, because it's the year 2016, excuse me, I'm here jumping ahead of time, but it's the year 2015, but according to Madden, it's the year 2016. But because of the power we have available in these home consoles, this, by default, becomes the best Madden that I've played ever. Well, since '93 or whatever. But because it's, as I stated, the only football franchise available to us, you're not going to be disappointed. And even though NFL 2K5 holds a special place in my heart, Madden 16 has actually allowed me to finally bury NFL 2K5. I find this is the first year I don't go, NFL 2K5 blows this out of the water. No. With Madden 16, it's very good. Very good. So, let me know what you think in the comment section if you picked up Madden 16. Or if you didn't, if you hate it. Let me know in the comment section below. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and leave a thumbs down if you don't. But anyway, I'm Jose Betancourt, and as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll talk to you soon.
Sometimes the receiver just has to make a great catch. That's what happened on that play.
One more snap, and that'll end the quarter. Quick drop back, and it's complete over to Cruz. We're back here getting ready for the second quarter. Bill, that was a defensive tug of war the first quarter.
It sure was, and it was a tug of war, and it was boring. That's what it looked like. I want to give the defense some credit. I thought they did well, but really the offenses, just poor play selection, poor execution, and you got to get some emotion going out there on the offensive side. Good job that time by the offense. They pick up a first down inside the 20-yard line. Now we'll see if they can punch it in and get 7 points.
The Jets with 2 extra defensive backs in the dime. Now 1st and 10. Locked in on the football and has hold of it with 2 hands. They're just grinding away down here, inching closer to the end zone.
Well, that's what you got to do sometimes. It's hard always to think that you're going to come out and just make big plays. You got to do the dirty work, and this offense is doing it right now.
That defensive front looks impenetrable here on the goal line. Harris is all over that offense and brings him down.
The Giants running back that time, he makes a bad decision. You can't be looking to make every play a big play when you're running the football. Look for a few yards, take advantage of that. He tries for the big play. What happens? He gets tackled for a loss.
Giants in the end zone. Touchdown partner puts them in front here in the early part of the second quarter.
Yeah, it's nice. They scored that touchdown. The defense has got to be kicking themselves because they did not play well or smart on that scoring drive.
The Giants getting set for the extra point. The point after is good. Manning certainly given his team some momentum with that scoring drive. He just put together a possession where he threw for more than 60 yards.